rather than aiming to score the goal. So multicollinearity slow down the variables because they focus on each other rather than focusing on the target variable. And that's what we don't like, because that messed us up. It makes us to have models that are not accurate, because the aim of everything is that uncertainty. We want to understand what we are not sure of. But how do we understand what we are not sure of if what we were supposed to use to evaluate what we are sure of are fighting among themselves? Nigeria is a perfect example of multicollinearity, for example. But sorry, I have to bring that up. But that's true.
Yeah.
Nigeria is a perfect example because the Hausa and the Igbos and the Yorubas and the other tribe are fighting themselves on the basis of ethnicity and religion. So you can see that ethnicity and religion is a strong multicollinearity that is making them not to attain development and nationhood. Do you understand? So they can't make progress because they are fighting each other rather than to focus on, for example, the criminal political class that are stealing their money. So instead of them to talk about them, you will see them, they'll be busy. Like what happened last time in Uromi, you could see that immediately it happens, Nigerians drop what was the problem. Nobody was talking about APC, PDP, Labour. No, the whole focus is the South versus the North. You see the thing. So they divert their attention from holding their leaders accountable. So that's what happens about multicollinearity. The focus should be the target variable, not on the individual futures. The future is supposed to work collectively in order for them to make the target variable much more accurate, to predict the target variable much more accurate. But the moment they start focusing on themselves rather than on the target variable, then you have a poor underfit model. So what now happens is this: what do you now do in such problem? So how you could be able to resolve that, one of it is to take advantage of these variables by now saying, okay, what do all of them have in common? How do we unify them to have more like it? So for example, now, when you go out of Nigeria, nobody sees you as a Hausa, Igbo, or Yoruba. They only see you as a Nigerian because you are carrying the symbol of a Nigerian. So the same way, when you do the future engineering, you are now saying, instead of all of us to be struggling among ourselves, why not we find a common thing that unites us and we push that forward, and then we will stay back while that goes to fight for us. So if we have 5 futures that are fighting each other, what we need to do, we could decide to say, okay, probably we drop all the other futures, let one person go and represent us. We don't care if this person is Hausa, we don't care if it's Yoruba or Igbo or Idoma or Igala or anything, but just go and go out there, represent us. Just like we are seeing Nigerians doing great things when they step out as individuals. So you could see collectively they are very poor at understanding themselves, making progress. But when they go out as one person, they do well. You see the thing, because there is an infighting that is stopping them from achieving. So what future engineering does is to help us to process this future such that it could be in a perfect shape